I'm so bored.
There's literally nothing to do in this library. All the books there are so mundane.
And the room temp here is so hot. Maybe taking off some clothing would help.
Oh, hey guys, what are you up to?
Oh, hey, Callie, we are literally dying of boredom here. Can't you see that we read all the books in this library and we're just lazing around like still alligators?
Yes, not to mention the temperature here. I'm becoming very arid right now that my pants is literally getting drenched in my own liquids.
Cool it with the lewd shit, will you shiver?
Actually, this gives me an idea.
Oh, really? And what would that be?
Well, since you have nothing to do, I think I found something that'll definitely lift your spirits. I found one book in particular that was written by a huge fan of you three. This is what seems to be a Wattpad short story called After Party. Author is unknown.
A fanfiction? Don't like the sound of that.
I've read a lot of fanfics ever since I've made my debut in Splatsville, but it looks like that this one will just be the lame and dull like the rest.
Well, it's whatever at this rate, Cal. Go on, read it to us. I doubt that this will change our minds.
Yeah, I bet myself 10,000 splat coins that I'll fall asleep within the first 2 minutes of the fanfiction.
Okay, you three. It's time to begin the story, but don't say I didn't warn you all.
I don't know why you said that, but whatever. Read away.
Okay, then. And cut, the director called out. The three members of Deep Cut stretched their limbs and let their bodies relax after the cameras had stopped rolling for their Daily Anarchy Splatcast show. While the work could be stressful, it was also fulfilling to be able to bring daily happiness to the people of Splatsville. They were especially worn after not only appearing for their day jobs on television, but also performing the night previous for the Splatfest. While the celebration could take a toll on you, the energy of the event also served to keep you going all the way through to the end. It was a fun event for all, but this event was a little bitter for Shiver, much like the dark chocolate she had represented on her side of the event.
Wow, Callie, I didn't know you had a narrator voice.
Narrator voice? I just make a good impression of an average storyteller, thank you very much.
And what do you mean I was feeling bitter? I was pissed. Dark chocolate should have won the fest. It's more velvety and arousing to your tongue.
Shiver, everyone in Splatsville knows that dark chocolate is bitter like your persona. Moving on. I can't believe white chocolate won. Shiver sighed as she used a cloth on her skin to wipe off the sweat in front of the mirror of their changing room. He didn't just win, it was a blowout. Fry complained as well, taking off her hat and the semi-transparent shawl off her shoulders. It was just like the last time he won.
Well, what can I say? Everyone in Splatsville loves me. What a lovely guy I am. Thank you, God, for that clean sweep.
Fuck you! Both of you, zip your cake holes. We're still in the middle of a story. Guess with Big Man, it's all or nothing, Shiver said, also removing the shawl around her shoulders. I thought for sure my side had it in the bag. I've only won one myself so far, Fry said. I really thought milk chocolate would pull through in the end. She commented, lifting her arms and stretching out her back while pushing her chest forward. The particular size difference between the two girls in that area was almost unavoidable to notice when she posed like that. Not like you didn't try to give them enough inspiration on that one, Shiver said with a little smirk. Fry blinked in confusion over the comment, then looked down to see where her eyes were landing. Oh, give me a break, says you while wearing those pants at every Splatfest.
Yeah, I can't argue about that. I look so damn sexy with those black tight pants. No wonder why everyone in Splatsville falls for me.
Here we fucking go again with your kinky shit. We're trying to tune into the story, and yet still, you try your damnest to slip in your sexual humor. Get it together, you perverted fuck.
Fry, please simmer down.
Sorry, Callie. Won't happen again.
I can't help that they look the best on me when I'm on a stage above everyone, Shiver said confidently, fanning herself lightly with a coy smile. Fry wanted to think of another jab to poke her with on her choice of dress, but didn't get the chance as the third member of their trio entered the dressing room shortly after. Hey guys! Hey Big Man! Fry greeted back cheerfully. Congrats on the Splatfest! Well, it wasn't just me. It was the whole team effort, Big Man said with a bit of modesty, though his smile could be seen clearly by both girls. You sure do look proud of your team too, Shiver said back, Big Man walking past them towards his chair. Well, yeah, they helped me win the bet, Big Man replied, the girls looking between each other confused that he'd be so excited over what they had wagered. You mean us giving you white chocolate? Fry asked with some confusion. We were gonna do that anyway. Not that, Big Man corrected, seemingly annoyed. You don't recall the bet we made off camera? If I managed to score a complete win this time? He corrected them.
About you and the white chocolate. You can't mean what I think you mean, Shiver asked in shock, and Fry was still looking between them both. What? I don't remember anything, Fry stated, blank-faced. Wait, like we have to suck him off? Fry asked in shock.
Oh boy, I like where this is heading.
Oh God, I say otherwise. I do not like where this is heading.
What's the big deal? Big Man asked, slightly offended. It's not like the three of us haven't done it before. That was true for all of them. Even before Deep Cut got off the ground, all three of them had been close. Closer than most people realized. They didn't really put any labels on what their relationships were with each other, but they also kept those details of their personal lives to themselves. It made dealing with the public less complicated, and unfortunately, any relationships idols tended to have were often encouraged not to be exposed for all sorts of marketing reasons. Yeah, but... Fry began, not sure how to counter the argument. The Splatfest just ended and we're right out of work. Is now really the time you want to do this? Shiver asked. Not that she didn't enjoy adult fun, but it had been a rather long weekend for them.
What are you talking about? I'm a major junkie for adult activities.
Of course a horny slut like you would say that.
Well, I've been waiting all weekend for it, and you two were so confident I wouldn't win when you took the bet. Big Man countered them. Fry shrugging. Who would have thought you'd run away with it? I mean, who the heck likes white chocolate over milk chocolate? Fry asked, still finding it hard to believe. Well, you two never seemed to complain in the past. Big Man countered them, Shiver letting out a sigh of acceptance. We might as well get it over with. He did win fair and square.
Hold up, since when Big Man and Shiver switched personalities?
I don't know, but I'm not a lewd pervert like Shiver, and I'll never be. Never!
Oh yeah, this is where the fun begins.
Shiver heating up with her nose bleeding. Oh dear, please don't tell me that she'll do what I think she'll do.
Well, alright. But let me get ready, okay? Fry agreed, getting up from her chair and removing her top over her head. Shiver stood up as well and hooked her thumbs into her pants, wiggling herself out of them until she had finally pulled them down past her thighs. Slipping them off carefully, she tossed them onto her changing room chair as Fry did the same with her pants. Beneath Fry was wearing a cute matching pair of yellow panties that went with her hair rather flatteringly. Shiver, on the other hand, was wearing a white thong that was barely present on her body. Aren't you ever worried someone is going to see something through those pants? Well, I'm never worried of anyone looking at me on the street, so it's not different on air, Shiver answered. It's not like Shiver has ever been shy about her body. Big Man replied to Fry as well.
Jesus fucking Christ, Shiver! When I said that you were always horny, this is just a new level of horny. You are the skimpiest piece of lingerie, and you don't give two shits about anyone seeing through those panties of yours. You just want everyone to admire your body, but in reality, I bet they all look at you the way Callie and Marie discovers their dehydrated grandpa.
Fry? You do realize I don't wear any panties underneath my pants, right? It's just a usual habit for me.
Ew, maybe this is why all the recent Splatfests have been rigged in your favor, Shiv. They all vote for you because of your suggestive appearance.
Everyone, can we all just pipe down here?
Oh, sorry,
that
Callie.
won't happen again.
Alright, thank you. Jesus.
Speaking of which, Fry said, looking down at her bandmate who was on his back on the floor of their changing room. Kneeling down on Big Man's left side, Shiver knelt down on the opposite side of her on his right, both looking at the task between them. It wasn't her first time seeing it, but she was always a little intimidated by both the size of Big Man when he was excited, and the fact that unlike Inklings or Octolings, Big Man had two pieces of equipment to work with. He called them claspers, but to her that was just another work for cock. You got up and were ready for attention in no time.
Geez, big boy, you have two long dicks. Twice the manhood, double the pleasure.
Okay, get the fuck out of here with your sus-ass, Shiver.
Big Man, is that true that you really have two penises?
Well, technically speaking, yes I do. On TV and outside the studio, I always don footwear on my fins, which are called claspers in the fanfic, because they are my reproductive organs.
Yeah, just like Darwin from The Amazing World of Gumball.
So, big boy, if your fins count as dual meat, does that mean sucking them off dry would make me have a foot fetish for you? Don't worry, I won't tell a soul.
Liar, I bet you'll tell the entire Splatsville and Incopolis about it.
Okay, I'm just going to ignore what the hell happened there and move on. You know sharks have two penises just like this, Shiver said,
before her gently with her fingers and stroking him in her hand. The thought seemed to make her feel more comfortable with the task before them. "You've totally fantasized about having sex with a shark, haven't you?" Fry asked her with a teasing tone, Shiver's smile falling to an exaggerated frown almost instantly at the question. "I've never had sex with any of my sharks." "Just because you like thinking about that doesn't mean I've done it," Shiver argued back, and Big Man suddenly began shaking.
Damn, she sounds so hot with that tone, and plus I had sex with multiple sharks. God, I was so wet on that night.
"Shiver, don't squeeze that hard." "Oh, sorry," she said, her smile returning to her face with the apology. "Sorry for the teasing. Couldn't help it since you always mention that around Big Man."
Shiver, what the fuck?
"Well, it is true this is the closest you can get to it. Speaking of which, shall I lead?" Shiver asked, lifting her left hand up to lift her hair out of the way and opening her mouth as she lowered her head down. Taking Big Man's cock into her mouth, Shiver sucked at the end of his dick and licked in small circles, pulling her head up shortly after. Once she had Fry leaned down to do the same, closing both of her eyes as she took in the mouthful on her side and wiggled her tongue around Big Man's other cock.
Ew, what the fuck?
Oh yes, I like to suck that like it's a dark chocolate fudge popsicle.
Shiver, I literally don't know what to do with you. This story must be your fantasy, like, what the hell?
Not to mention that her bedtime stories are always similar to this one, that she experiences wet dreams every fucking night.
Well, that explains why her bedsheets smell so rank. And so they went, taking turns so as not to accidentally bump heads as the girls lowered themselves further, each time taking him in a little more into the mouths. Shiver was managing to outpace Fry as they went, a fact not lost on her, as Fry would watch with fascinated glee as Shiver would lower her head slowly onto Big Man's cock, managing to take far more than she would have ever suspected a girl of her petite features to handle. Pulling her head back up slowly after taking him into her throat, Fry attempted to match her by lowering her own head down further and loosened her muscles to enjoy the sensation.
Okay, what the actual fuck is going on here?
I don't know, but I feel really bad for myself getting jumped on by you two.
Oh my god, Shiver's getting more aroused by the second.
This has to stop now. Shiver, snap out of it.
Oh, harder, Daddy. I don't believe it. It's no use. We can't get her out of this state unless the story's over.
Callie, just finish the story already. Shiver's going sexually apeshit, and she might let loose any moment now.
Alrighty then, finishing the story! Dagging slightly, Fry pulled her head back up, coughing a little as she did. "I still can't compete with you." "I don't think he minds," Shiver said with a smile looking over at Big Man. "You love Fry's lips just as much as mine, don't you?" "I can't imagine one without the other," Big Man agreed, a happy sigh escaping his mouth as he enjoyed them continuing to lick and suck at his dual penises. "Oh, hey, since this Splatfest had milk chocolate, do you want some of mine and Shiver's to finish you off?" Fry asked, bouncing her own tits in her hands as she posed the question with a giggle. "We're going to do that then? Let me get unwrapped." Shiver agreed, leaning back from where her mouth had been working and unraveling the sriracha around her chest and releasing her breasts from the binding. Both Fry and Big Man stopped to watch her perform this act as she set the binding cloth aside and let her breasts free from the containment. "Why do you two enjoy that so much? Fry is much more impressive."
The funny thing about that part is that Shiver doesn't have any boobs whatsoever. Her chest is so flat that you can have an entire cheese platter board on it.
No doubt about it. Her chest can also be used as a wooden board for my karate training.
Bro thinks he's from Cobra Kai.
"Yeah, but it's special when you do it," Big Man admitted to her. "He's right. When we get to see you reveal them, it's like something special no one else gets to see." Fry agreed, and without her fan directly on hand, Shiver instinctively lifted her hand to her face and looked away with an obvious blush to her cheeks. "Now bring them in." "I haven't had a hug like this in a while either. Big Man, lift 'em up." "You know I enjoy this, but it's not easy on my back," Big Man said as he bent the lower part of his body upward to raise his claspers higher for the girls. Fry grabbed a footrest from under her vanity in the room and slid it under him so he wouldn't have to focus on keeping that position. "You were the one that made the bet," Shiver said with a smirk.
Shiver pushed their breasts around the one closest to them, both leaning forward so that while they rubbed their breasts around him, they could feel their skin rubbing against each other as well. Looking down, the difference was apparent with the way Fry was able to engulf him between her breasts, while Shiver had to maintain pressure with her hands to keep him from slipping away. However, this always seemed to make her very happy, along with him for some reason, and seeing her cheerful face made it all the better. Opening her mouth, Shiver let her tongue hang out to allow her saliva to drip down between her breasts and onto his cock, adding the additional lubrication to make her rubbing that much easier. Perhaps copying her, or just liking the look of it, Fry did the same thing, letting her tongue hang out as well, and allowing the saliva to drip down. Shiver glanced at Big Man, who was clearly nearing his limit. Doing okay down there, big guy?
Oh dear, I was being used as a sex toy by the two of you. Oh, what a pity!
Oh, big boy, it's okay. Here, let me give you a hug. You didn't have to go through any of that. I can't say the same about Shiver, though.
Speaking of Shiver, how's she doing?
Oh, fuck, I'm getting close. Oh!
Oh no, this ain't good.
Quickly, Callie, finish the story now.
Okay, don't rush me. I'm getting pretty close, he muttered, looking up at the girls. Hear that, he's close. Shiver said to Fry with a mischievous grin. Should we give him something to finish for? At the question, Fry got a big smile and began to lean forward. I've been waiting for you to ask, Fry said, both girls coming together for a deep kiss above him. She felt Fry's tongue meet her own in the kiss and was nearly overwhelmed with the passion she had in it, getting a shiver up her spine that she rarely felt for anything but this kind of excitement. Their lips stayed together for quite a while as the two enjoyed the feeling of their bodies being this close again. Then slowly pulling their lips apart, each girl moved down to take one of the large cocks deep into their mouths. The combined suction of their lips along with the pumping of their fingers was more than Big Man could resist as he finally gave them the white dessert he'd promised. Fry gasped as she pulled her mouth away, only able to take so much down her throat before it became too much for her. Wrapping her breasts around his cock, she stroked him for more as his cum shot onto her face and between her breasts. Her tongue gently licked the tip to clean him off. Shiver, however, was letting out deep and satisfied moans as she kept her head down and took his full load into her throat, sucking away as he came more and more into her mouth until he had nothing left to share. Pulling her head up slowly, Shiver took in a deep gasp of air and licked her lips with a devious grin. Ew! Finally got my white chocolate, Shiver said happily. Thank you, Big Man! Thank you for mine too, Fry said, far more a mess than her partner across from her was. I think I might need an ambulance for my back. Big Man groaned, Fry reaching under him and pulling out the ottoman so that he was laying flat on the ground now. You're not fooling me. This part of you is perfectly healthy and had a great time, Fry said with a grin, giving his cock a quick rub that made him shudder. Fry, it's sensitive, Big Man complained, and she could only laugh in response. Goodness, you're so messy with your food, Shiver complained as she came over to Fry, licking her face and breasts clean of Big Man's mess on her skin.
Okay, now that's just nasty.
I can't take it all like you, Fry admitted. Besides, I like it when you clean me up. Me too, Shiver agreed, licking over her breasts and up to her neck, ending her journey with a kiss on the lips. Well, that was a lot more fun than I thought it would be. I feel like the stress from the Splatfest is all gone. We should do this more often after these, Fry agreed. Doesn't that sound like fun, Big Man? Just like old times. Big Man agreed from the floor, too spent to move. Our own little after party, Shiver said as she hugged Fry tight and kissed her cheek. I could get used to this Splatfest tradition.
Okay, you three, that's the end of the story. What did you all think?
Absolutely terrible. I hated every single part of it. If I hadn't won that Splatfest, then this wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, whoever wrote this fanfic about us is absolutely fucked up in the head. Hey, Shivs, what are your thoughts on this monstrosity?
Oh yeah, I loved it so much. The only bad part is that the story ended.
Yeah!